Good morning, children. Welcome to online physical science class. Welcome back to 6th standard science, physical science online class. Children, hope you are all doing well. By the grace of God, let the good Lord showers you all the blessing in this new year. Shall we start our new lesson in physics, lesson 6, light? So the lesson is light, number 6th lesson. Okay, children. So what is a light? Light is a form of energy, isn't it? And here we are going to discuss how light is produced and how it behaves. So what are the sources of light? Sources means what? From where we get light. Light get emitted. Anything that emits or a light is called luminous. Okay, anything that gives out light is called luminous objects. Luminous objects are the sources of light. Let us discuss some of the sources of light. The first source is incandescent sources. Incandescent sources means to glow without with heat. Okay, with the heat. For example, look at these pictures. That is, their light is emitted by the hot gases of the star, molten iron, and the glowing of coil in a heater. All these are what? They emits light in the with the help of heat. Am I right? Yes. A familiar incandescent source of light is the electric bulb, also known as incandescent lamp. The normal bulb, no, that is called as incandescent lamp. It emits light because the filament, uh, thin wire inside it, gets heated to a very high temperature and glows when an electric current flows through it. Halogen lamps used in automobile headlights and for stage lighting also produce the light in the same way. Is it clear? The only difference is that they contain a halogen vapor which makes them last longer. Another example of hot solid glowing with heat is the coil of an electric heater. Okay, children. So these electrons, these are the sources which emits the light with the help of water, heat. They are called as incandescent lamps. Incandescent means they glow with the help of heat. Okay, when they are heated to a high temperature, they produce the light. Is it clear? Now, the another source are candles and fuel burning lamps. Combustion or burning is a chemical reaction in which substance that burns combines with oxygen. We know that the burning or combustion takes place. It's a chemical reaction with the help of oxygen. Energy in the form of heat and light is given out in such reactions. Candles, diyas, and kerosene lamps produce light through such reactions. So, through the chemical reactions, they burn or combustion takes place so that light is produced. The next form of source is fluorescent lights. Fluorescent lights, when an electric current is passed through a gas filled in a tube, the gas emits light under certain conditions. Tube light and CFLs. CFLs are tubes filled with the gas, but the light emitted by the gas like UV rays that kill germs in a water purifier is not visible. Okay, this light is absorbed by a special substance that coats the walls of the tube light and a CFLs. So the same CLFS bulbs and also the tube lights, they are coated with a special coating that only emits this water UV rays. Okay, children, this substance that emits light that we can see substances that emit light after absorbing light are called fluorescent substances. You know, fluorescent substances are the substances which emit the light and then glows. So such thing is present in the case of this tube lights and CLF CLF lamps. Is it clear, children? Hope you have understood. Yes, the next source is LED lights. So this is a common one, isn't it? Electrons emit light under certain conditions. What are electrons? Electrons are the one which are present in the atoms, or the tiny particles which are present in the atoms. You will be learning about them in your higher classes. One such situation is when an electric current is passed through the junction, that is joint, of two spherical substances. There are many such pairs of substances that emit light when the electron in them are activated by an electric current. LEDs are made up of such substances. So when you two joints, the current is passed, when the current is passed through the two junctions or joints of two special substances, they emit light, and that is called as LED lights. Okay, and this is about the sources. So LED lights, fluorescent lights, candles, fuel burning lamps, and also incandescent substances. Is it clear about the sources of light, children? Okay, now the next topic is how light travels. Actually, light does not need a material medium to travel. It can travel through vacuum. Vacuum means empty place where there is no air. It can travel in vacuum also. Okay, that is how it reaches us from the sun. And what is this transparent, translucent, and opaque substances? Have you heard about this transparent, translucent, and opaque substances? Yes, transparent are the substances. So this light can pass or travel through some mediums. Okay, these mediums are classified as transparent, translucent, and opaque substances. Materials that light can pass through them are called transparent substances. Okay, can pass through them are called transparent substances. For example, glass, then what else? Glass, mirrors, all these water, or these colorless polythene sheets, all these are examples for transparent substances. That is your scale you are using, no? That is a transparent substances. That is, you can see the object which is right behind that object. We can see the things which are right behind the object. That object is said to be transparent object, that is light passes through that object. Okay, and what about the other things? If you are not able to see the things which are present next beyond the object, such objects are called opaque objects. That is, light cannot pass through them. They are called opaque objects. For example, keep your palm very close to your eyes. Are you able to see the thing which is beyond your palm? No, you are not able to see, isn't it? So such object is an opaque object, that is, light cannot pass through the your palm. So it is called opaque object. Okay, and they block the light. And what is translucent object? So we have learned about transparent, transparent and opaque. What is translucent object? Translucent object are the materials which can pass the light only to a partial amount. For example, tracing papers, ground glass, they are translucent. You can see the things, but they are not very clear. Okay, they are not very clear. Tracing paper, if you keep your tracing paper near to you, you can't see the things which are beyond the tracing paper. Am I right? Behind the tracing paper. So you can see it, but they are not clearly visible. Okay, so that is called translucent materials. Do you understood this Transparent, translucent and opaque objects, children. Hope you have understood. Okay, how the light travels? We come to an important question. How does the light travels? So light travels, for this we have to learn the main property of light, that is rectilinear propagation of light. Rectilinear propagation of light. See, look at these pictures. In these pictures, the sun rays, you are able to see the sun rays in the first picture. The sun rays are hidden by the clouds, but they somewhat they are coming out from the clouds. Okay, similarly here also the sun rays comes from the uh, travels in the holes between the trees, isn't it? Yes, this is what does these pictures say? These pictures says that light rays travels in a straight line. Light rays travels in a straight line. So this traveling in straight line, no, that is called rectilinear propagation of light. Light always, not only in certain time, always it travels in straight line, and this is called rectilinear propagation of light. Do you understood, children? We can verify this by using a following this simple experiment. So try to see the uh, flame of a candle with the help of a straw. With a straight straw you can see, but when you use a bent straw you can't able to see, because the light, since the light travels in the straight line, it will be easy for you to see in the straight straw, but it is difficult to see in the bended straw. Do you understood? So this property, that is light travels in the straight line, is said to be the rectilinear propagation of light. Okay, children? Based on this property, that is the rectilinear propagation of light, the pinhole camera works. So for that you can make your own pinhole camera. Take a toothpaste box, use black chart paper to make a sleeve into it, into which the box can slide. Fold in the plops of the box and staple them to make a tube. Cut the tube into an unequal parts. Stick black chart paper and translucent sticky tape or tracing paper across the two parts. Okay, as shown in the figure, the sticky tape acts as a screen. Make a hole in the chart paper with a drawing pin. Stick the shorter tube to the sleeve. Then slide the other tube into the sleeve with its open end on the outside. Point the pinhole at the bright objects such as trees outside your window during the day or an electric lamp at night. You will see an inverted image of the object on the screen. Okay, children. So this is the procedure to make a pinhole camera. You can do it on your own at your home. So this pinhole camera, look at this figure. You will see that the light rays coming from the top and bottom of the object cross the hole and continue to move in the straight line, isn't it? Continue to move in the straight line. Are you able to, from the top and the bottom, the light rays enters into the hole and it continues to travel in the straight line. Thus, rays from the top of the object falls at the bottom of the screen. From the top it falls at the bottom of the screen, and those from the bottom of the object falls at the top of the screen. That is how the image is formed, is inverted. So inverted image is formed in the case of this pinhole camera. Is it clear, children? Hope you have understood. You may try the following variations in this pinhole camera. Point the camera at some object and change the distance between the pinhole and the screen by sliding the movable part of the camera in or out. You will find that the size and brightness of the image change with the distance between the pinhole and the screen. So when you zoom in and zoom out, you can see the clear and unclear images, and also the size smaller and brighter images will be formed when you zoom in. When you zoom out, you are able to see the unclear image, and the size of the image will also be bigger. Okay, this is one variation you can try. Another variation is you can check that the images of the distant objects are smaller than those of the near objects. So the images, regarding the images of nearer objects, images will be bigger, and the far away objects image will be uh, smaller. Okay, then if you make the hole larger, okay, actually you have to make the hole with a bell pin, but if the hole is larger, you will find that the images become brighter, but somehow it is hazy means unclear. Okay, they are not very clear. Okay, is it clear? Okay children, do you understood this? So these are the variations you can try in this pinhole camera. Hope you have understood today's class very well children. So do your assignment and report in the group without fail children. Also learn the question answers and the book exercise then and there children. Thank you. Meet you in the next class.